Hello, and welcome to Unity Church on the Mountain from my home. The title of the talk today is Giving Thanks. But before we begin the talk, let's start by affirming together our opening statement. There is only one presence and one power in my life and the universe, God. Let's just take a moment to pause. Breathe a little deeper than normal and release. So gently breathing in, holding it for a short time and releasing. We relax into this present moment, secure that all is in divine order. And from this place, let us affirm together our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. And so, we come to the talk. And the title is Giving Thanks. After all, this is the weekend after Thanksgiving. So it's appropriate that we talk about giving thanks. Gratitude is perhaps the most powerful spiritual tool that we have available to us to bring us into the presence, to put ourselves back in the flow of spirit. When we find our mind, when we discover, when we become aware that our consciousness is not centered in spirit, when we are giving thought to a cycle of thoughts of fear or anger, resentment, doubt, when these thought patterns come into our consciousness and we become aware of them, this is the time for giving thanks. Somewhere in the situation that brought about those thoughts, there is something that we can be thankful for. There is an opportunity for us. And if it's difficult to find it at first, just pause from the situation, take a deep breath and release it, and bring to mind something that you're grateful for, or some situation where you felt a deep, heartfelt gratitude. And then as the consciousness shifts into this consciousness of gratitude, away from the error consciousness that brought us to this point, so we can be grateful for whatever happened, that it brought us into this state of error consciousness, and that we woke up to it, became aware of it, and then shifted it. So you see, without that, whatever brought us into that error consciousness, whatever the situation was, we wouldn't have had this opportunity to wake to our state of mind and to shift into gratitude. So you see, that's one really easy way to see in the situation an opportunity for gratitude. It's not the situation that we're grateful for, but we're grateful for how it shifts our consciousness or allows us to shift our consciousness. That is the opportunity here. I want to share a Bible verse or two. The first one's in the Gospel of Matthew and chapter 21. And it's going to end at verse 22, but I want to set the scene for this, give it a little context. So Jesus has just come to Jerusalem. This is near the end of his ministry. And he overturns the tables of the money changers that are in the temple, causing a great ruckus. And then he leaves the city quietly, so they cannot put him into jail yet. He retires just outside the city to Bethany, and then the next day he is coming back towards Jerusalem. So that's where we begin at verse 18 of chapter 21 of the Gospel of Matthew. In the morning, as he returned to the city, he became hungry. And he saw a fig tree on the roadside, and he came to it and found nothing on it except leaves. And he said to it, "Let there be no fruit on you again forever." And shortly the fig tree withered. When the disciples saw it, they were amazed and said, "How is it that the fig tree has withered so soon?" And Jesus answered, saying to them, "Truly I say to you, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will perform a deed not only like this of the fig tree, but should you say even to this mountain, be removed and fall into the sea, it shall be done." And now, verse 22. "And everything that you will ask in prayer, believing, you shall receive." So the mountain moves to the sea, and everything that you ask in prayer, believing that you shall receive. Remember, this is a faith thing. If you have faith and do not doubt, he says in 21, you will perform a deed like this. And everything that you will ask in prayer, believing or having faith, you shall receive. I'd like to paraphrase that even further and say everything that you will ask in prayer, grateful that it is already so, you shall receive. It shall be done. So the second verse I want to share is from Hebrews. And it's going to explain to us a little bit more about this faith. Faith is often seen as another word for having a belief or a professed belief. Faith is almost a synonym for a religion or denomination. But I don't think, and Paul is going to tell us right here, that faith is way more than that. So let's look at the letter to the Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, as it was the substance of things which have come to pass. And it is the evidence of things not seen. Faith is so much more than just a professed belief. But truly, if we believe, then we are in this faith. So that's where the confusion comes in. I mean, we can see it back there in the verse in Matthew. And everything you will ask in prayer, believing, you shall receive. But then in verse 21, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will perform a deed not only like this of the fig tree, but should you even say to this mountain, be removed and fall into the sea, it shall be done. Faith is a substance. Now we know Physics tells us everything in this universe is energy. There's different densities of this energy, and the energy is organized in a certain way, but it's all energy. And that's what's meant here by this substance. Faith is a substance. It's this primordial energy along with information. So this hope for, the substance of things hoped for. This is a formation in our consciousness. And this substance is, remember divine order. Remember what Charles Fillmore taught us about divine order. That everything in this universe is the mind of God, the ideas in that mind, and their expression. And these aren't separate things. This is the ongoing, continuous creation that is the Word. Milta is the Aramaic. Logos is the Greek. And in English it's translated as Word. In the beginning was the Word. I sang that song last week. The gospel of one word. It is this ongoing creation. That is this substance. The faith it is so primordial and so basic. It's that which is behind. It's that which is meta. It is behind everything that we can see in this manifested world. We partake in it. We are the very expressions of it in action. The creating end of the universe lies with us. So when we go in prayer with gratitude that it is done, that all is in divine order, and everything is in full unfolding for the greatest good of all. This gratitude that everything is unfolding for the greatest good of all. You see, quite often as we go through our lives, it's so easy to look at another person or even ourselves and to see with an eye of judgment instead of a healthy eye, but to see and begin to see the things, the flaws, or the things that we see are flaws. Things that, here's that word, should be different. And we look at others with this eye of judgment. Well, there's two things going on here. Okay, number one comes to my mind right away when I'm in judgment. What is it that I'm seeing in this other person that I need to look at in myself? So there's gratitude. Gratitude that this person has shown me something that I need to see about myself. And this other thing, when we find ourselves in this judgment of another, we can choose at this moment of awareness not only to see this in ourselves, but to be grateful for the divinity in this person. We can use this judgment that we find ourselves in as an alarm clock to wake us up and see the divinity in someone else. Being grateful for the divine being that is at the heart of this person, who is showing us by their own behavior something we need to know about ourselves. It wouldn't be so important that we see it in someone else if we didn't need to acknowledge it in ourselves. So giving thanks. Giving thanks. You see, there is this giving part of gratitude. That we give to the universe this shifted consciousness. This consciousness that has been shifted into gratitude. From whatever, wherever it was before. And when we do this, it is a giving of thanks to the universe. And this attractive power of love that I spoke about last week pulls to us more of the blessings that we're thankful for. We give this thanks. We receive the blessing. We're not thankful for the situation, but we are thankful in the situation. It's about shifting our consciousness. And the song I want to sing for you today is directly related to this shift in consciousness. There's a technique that I learned, and I want to share this technique for your as a possibility of something that you can practice as your week progresses. We were discussing gratitude in our circle of beloved community ministers. And as one person was sharing their gratitude, they began to explain in a way that opened up my mind to seeing gratitude a little differently. Because gratitude is one of my practices. So this was a way of multiplying my gratitude. So for example, if I am grateful when I wake up and get in the warm shower that I have this warm water available to me at the turn of a tap. So I'm grateful for this nice hot shower, this nice warm shower. And now, because I'm grateful for this shower, I can be grateful for the running water and that allowed me to have this shower. Well, I wouldn't have this warm shower if it weren't for the hot water heater. So I'm grateful that I have hot running water available to me. And you know, I wouldn't have hot water if I didn't have electricity to heat the water or gas. So I'm grateful for the electricity or the gas that allow this water to heat. And while I'm at electricity, I'm grateful for the light that's in this room. I'm grateful for these electronic devices that are here that allow me to share this message of truth across the internet to each of you. So you can see what's happening here. From some small thing that I'm grateful for, this chain of gratitude begins to grow. And it branches out. So there become, from one thing, there become so many things that I'm grateful for. And that's the practice. To allow this chain, this causal chain, to branch out to these so many varied things that I also have gratitude for. And these things that I'm having gratitude for and expressing gratitude for bring about a shift in my consciousness, and I am giving thanks back to the universe. This is love at work. The attractive force that brings back into my life from universe as I give thanks, I am receiving blessings. More to be thankful for. More to be thankful for. So the song I want to sing is about this shift. And gratitude might be one of the things that we think about as we practice the Golden Key from Emmett Fox. The Golden Key is a very simple statement. I'm going to say it over and over in the song, gently reinforcing it into our consciousness. And it goes like this. Stop thinking about the difficulty. no matter what it is, and think about God instead. And you might say, stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and be grateful instead. Give thanks instead. There's going to be some other affirmations that we use in the song to help bring us to that state where we're thinking about, where we're giving our attention, where we're giving our love to Spirit. Gratitude could be one of those things, though it didn't actually make it into the song lyrics. But you can be thinking that as you hear, I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God. I'm a child of God. God is guiding me now. God is with me now. I am giving thanks. I feel this gratitude. So, let's sing the song. This is one of the songs that you might want to allow to get trapped into your consciousness so that you're hearing it over and over again. Because it can be very beautiful to hear something like this. And I think that's why Spirit brought it to me. So that the golden key would be in my consciousness, ready at hand, for whenever I find myself stuck in some cycle of error thought. We're going to put this thing on right side out. And then we'll strap on the guitar and we'll sing this song. Remembering that it's about shifting our consciousness. And when our consciousness is focused on God, when our attention is being given to Spirit, then we can feel the gratitude. So the song is called The Golden Key, and the words come directly from the essay with the same title by Emmett Fox. My brother Jason and I have put them into a song. And so here it goes. About the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about truth instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about love instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God, and I'm a child of God. surrounded by the perfect peace of love. And I'm a child of love. I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God. And God is love. I am love. God is true. I am true. God is love. I am love. God is true. And I am true. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about love instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God. And God is guiding me now. I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of truth. Truth is guiding me now. I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of love. Love is guiding me now. I'm filled and surrounded by the perfect peace of God. God is love. I am love. God is true. I am true. God is love. I am love. God is true. I am true. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about truth instead. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about love God is with me now. And God is with us in every now moment of every hour and every minute of each day. Let's affirm this together by praying our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you. I give thanks for you. I am grateful. I am in gratitude.